All right, so today we're going to be talking about graphing systems of inequalities. So in your notes today, what we're going to look at is we're basically going to go through the directions on how to solve these, and then we're also going to fill in some information and work an example problem. So the first thing I want to do is fill in these 7 different tabs over here. We're only going to actually use 5, but we'll fill them all in. So the first thing I want you to write down is I want you to write down solve for y. That's going to be our first step anytime we're solving these. So solve for y. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to graph the points. So go ahead for number 2 and write down graph the points. Number 3, we're going to decide, is it a solid line? So write solid or dashed. So is this going to be a solid line or a dashed line? And then the last one, number 4. Number 4 is going to be a shade above or shade below. So write down shade above or below. Now, step number 5 is just going to be to repeat these steps. So number 5, I just want you to write down repeat. And we're going to repeat steps 1 through 4. All right, so on those next 2, I want you to go ahead and mark those out. These aren't necessarily steps, but this is just something that you need to remember to make sure you're good with your notes. So in those steps, number 6 and 7, what I want you to write down is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, flip your sign. That's a rule that we've been talking about for a while now, but I always make sure I bring that up because people always forget to flip their sign whenever they divide by a negative or multiply by a negative. So remember, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, flip your sign. So down there below where it has the boxes, I want to go ahead and write in shade above. So for shade above, that's going to be anytime we have greater than or greater than or equal to. Anytime it has a greater than symbol, we always want to shade above. The shade below, we're going to do that when it's less than or equal to. A solid line is going to be whenever it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And then a dashed line is going to be when it's less than or greater than. So those rules haven't really changed. Those are still the same as what we talked about just the other day. So those rules don't really change for us when we're graphing inequalities. All right, so we're going to do one problem actually, where we go through and determine what our information is. So let's look at this problem first. We're going to look at this box over here, and I'm actually going to do that problem over here on the right-hand side, or left-hand side. So what I want you to do here is I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to go ahead and work this out and solve it for y. So go ahead and see if you can take 3x minus 4y is less than 4 and solve for y. All right, welcome back. So to solve for y here, what we're going to need to do is we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. The 3x's will cancel out, and that's going to be negative 4y is less than negative 3x plus 4. From here, we want to divide both sides by negative 4. The negative 4's will cancel out, and that's going to give me y. I divided by a negative number, so I'm going to flip the sign to greater than. Negative 3 divided by negative 4 is going to be positive 3 over 4, x. And then 4 divided by negative 4 is going to be negative 1. So once I identify what my equation is, I can then take and graph the y-intercept and the slope. So in this problem, the y-intercept is going to be negative 1, so I'm going to go down 1 and put a point. And then my slope is going to be 3 over 4. So that means that I'm going to rise 3, and I'm going to run to the right 4. Rise 3, and run to the right 4. Rise 3, and run to the right 4. I can also go down 3 and go to the left 4. Down 3, and then run to the left 4. So once I get those points graphed, that's the second step, is to graph the points. The third step now becomes solid or dashed. So in this one, when I look at the sign for this problem, that sign is going to tell me that it's going to be a dashed line. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go across here and dash the line and put my arrows on the end. And then the step number 4. All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to, after we graphed our points and decided it's a dashed line, we're then going to shade above or below. So the shade above or below on this one, this less than sign tells me to shade down. So I'm going to shade everything less than. So I'm going to shade everything below on this line. Oh, I take that back. I'm going to shade everything greater than. This is a greater than sign. So actually I'm going to shade everything above. Sorry about that. So in this one, I'm going to shade everything above. Now make sure that when you shade this, you're going to shade it kind of lightly. That way you can kind of see where your answer is here in a second. So we're going to shade everything above, and we're going to shade it nice and light. And then we have our first line graphed. All right, so the second line we're going to do, we'll do it in a different color. If you have a different color, you can do this as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this one on the right-hand side. So x plus 2y is less than or equal to 8. So in this one, I've got x plus 2y is less than or equal to 8. So go ahead and take a second, pause the video, and see if you can solve this problem now. All right, welcome back. So to solve this for y, I'm going to subtract x on both sides. The x's cancel out. I'm going to get 2y is less than or equal to negative x plus 8. Next, I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. 2's cancel out, and I'm going to get y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 4. Now in this one, the sign didn't flip because I divided by a positive 2. So anytime that I divide by a positive number, the sign doesn't flip. So to graph this problem, I'm going to start with plus 4. So I'm going to go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. And then I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 2. So down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1, right 2. And I'm going to continue that pattern all the way across. I can also go up 1 and to the left 2 if I want to. So that pattern works as well, going the other direction. And usually I do it all the way across to make sure I have my line when I draw it. Perfect. All right, so once I get that taken care of, next I need to identify if it's a solid or dashed line. So in this one, it's got an equal to underneath it, which means it's going to be a solid line. I'm going to go ahead and graph that. And then in this one, it says y is less than. So less than means to shade down. So in this problem, I'm going to shade everything underneath. And I'm just going to take from my line and go straight down. All right, so once I have that taken care of, I've completed my problem. Now to understand what all this means over here, basically you're going to have all your solutions for the line be located in this double shaded area. If you notice, this area is shaded both black and green, or red and green. So that double shaded area is going to be where your solutions are going to lie. So anything in this shaded area here is going to be a solution for your problem. Now, anything that you have up here in this black shaded area, or red shaded area, is going to be a solution for the red line. Anything in the green shaded area is going to be a solution for your green line. And then anything over here in this white shaded area is going to be no solutions. So really what you're looking for here is any solution that falls in this double shaded area. Those are going to be your solutions when you have systems of inequalities. All right, go ahead and finish up your notes. If you have any questions, let me know, and then you can go back and you can work a few problems. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I just realized, I apologize. The green that I was talking about is the yellow. So those are going to be our yellow shaded area. Thank you.